I'm going to talk to you about the wear and tear I've experienced on my 2020 Tesla Model Y with the white interior and has 34,000 miles on it. So I'm going to cover everything. We're going to start with battery degradation. That's a question that everyone has, is what percentage your battery's still at? And Tesla will not release the diagnostics tools or show results of where your battery is at. Basically, their warranty says as long as your battery is above 70% of its original capacity, then there is no need for a replacement within the warranty coverage period. However, they won't release that information. So what I can say is my Tesla Model Y came with 316 miles of range. It now shows, when I drag the slider all the way to the end within the Tesla app, it shows 288 miles of range, or 91% of its original capacity. When I switched from the Gemini wheel, wheels back to the induction wheels, my mileage was at 292 miles when I dragged the slider across in the Tesla app. So now it's at 288, so it's either 91 or 92%. Now, I don't know that that actually reflects any battery degradation. I think Tesla is keeping that information quiet to themselves. Personally, I think all electric car companies should be required, just like Apple shows you your battery health. Like on my phone right now, I click on battery health and I can see that it's 90% of its original capacity. It would be nice to have some of that transparency. Now, something that is, I guess this really isn't wear and tear, but it's software, and maybe if you don't have a Tesla yet, this can be something you have to get used to. So there was a new software update recently, and it changed a bunch of things, like all of these apps right here. You're able to drag and drop and kind of customize your toolbar. And I think that's cool. But what's not cool is the fact that they took the heated seats away from this main screen. In Arizona this time of year, I don't use the heat or AC a lot. If anything, I just use my heated seats to try to get the car to run more efficiently. That's all I need. Windows down, it's great. But to get my heated seat on so the air's off, I have to click this and to get to the heated seat. So now the air has turned on and I click it here. Now, I just think that is a stupid thing. Now, it would be nice if I could take this and just drag it to the toolbar and be able to use my heated seat. I think that was just a short-sighted adjustment they made. Also, before there were, like, you could swipe here and you could see your tire pressure, your watt hours per mile. There was just useful information there, your trip odometer, whatever. And now that is like deep into the menus. So if you're driving and you want to see what your watt hours is or something like that, you have to dig into the menus, which makes it unsafe. So there's a couple things that might be adjusted over time that could frustrate you. I know this update for me has been like, you know, part of it's cool, the other part of it's a pain in the bum. So now let's look at some other thing. The white seats, hot topic with everyone. Should you get the white seats? I'm gonna show you some things that'll help you. I'm gonna show you my white seats after my stinky behind. Has sat in them for 34,000 miles. That's McDonald's, Wendy's, Jersey Mike's, food poisoning, everything. So let's check it out. As you can see here, they look pretty good. You can't tell. Now, me standing here, I can see that there is some dinge. You can see like in these creases right here, it's cleaner where it folds in, and then it's a little brown on the outside. So what I do to clean my seats and keep them clean is I use this Hydro-Silex interior cleaner. This can be used on any surface inside of your car except for the glass surfaces. So it can be used on this, it can be used on this, it can be used on your steering wheel to keep your steering wheel nice. It can even be used on your floor mats and your pedals. So it's a really versatile product. I know a ton of people have purchased it. Code GJEEBSFebruary, that changes by the month. It will save you 25% on their website. It's very easy to use. Sometimes I keep it in the car if I'm doing a road trip. So that's what I recommend. Also, not just for your white seats. If you have black seats, even in my BMW has a black interior, I use that cleaner to get like the grease and oils that your body produces and leaves on the seats. I use that to clean it off and keep it with the matte factory finish. That's what you want to have. It's not just about the white seats. You have to do that on any interior. Just high touch areas like the center console, steering wheel. This stuff is excellent, and this is the microfibers that they also have on the website. I'll have that linked in the description. The other thing that you need to make it work perfectly is a horsehair brush. I'll have this linked on Amazon. This is what you need to really scrub and agitate the seats. I have a full cleaning video linked in the description, so you can check that out. Now, some other wear and tear. I've never broken a windshield on this car until now, so I have to put my service request in. and I'm gonna show you guys what that process is. So a rock hit here, and for a while it didn't split, and then the split has run up the windshield. I need to get that replaced. So I will do a video on what that process is like with the service request to show you how long it takes. Is it a pain in the butt? Because Tesla has to replace your windshield. Because of the cameras and the calibration that needs to happen, Tesla has to do the replacement. I'll let you know how that goes. Other wear and tear, I've noticed this. Now this is kind of weird, and someone on Twitter posted about this as well, and there's little cracks right here in the seat. You can kind of see them right there. Now, is it a big deal? Not really, but if it continues and splits the seat, I hope Tesla would replace it. So what I'm trying to do right now to mitigate splitting the seat is losing weight. I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm trying to get under 100 pounds, which is Tesla's ideal weight for someone driving their car. The other thing to consider is getting paint protection film on your car. So I have it on the entire car right now. It's a stealth paint protection film from Expel. Covers every surface of the car, even this right here, just the matte black. So it looks really good, keeps the car protected, so I don't have any cuts or scratches on the front. Now, that's not something you have to do. Don't feel like you have to get paint protection film. But if this is your first expensive car that you've purchased, you want to keep it nice. If you're a neat freak like me, that's why I get it on my cars, to keep them totally protected. And it's not going to protect you like, you know, if you run into a brick on the road, but all those little rocks and little things and nails that fly up on the road, it's going to protect you from the front of your car being peppered and getting all messed up. So that's my recommendation. That's what to do. I go to Dynamic Tint in Tempe, Arizona. Tyler has done hundreds of Teslas at this point. He has a ton of experience with them and really any high-end car. He's done absolutely everything. So his work is great. That's the shop I recommend. Tell him Gjeebs sent you and he'll hook you up. So that's where to go. The other thing to talk about is tires and rims. Now, I'm not the typical Tesla owner in the fact that I don't curb my wheels. When I'm back into a supercharger, I know how to drive my car and use my mirrors to make sure I don't curb a wheel. I saw someone recently on Twitter, I can't remember the user's name. He was like, it seems like Tesla wheels are always curbed. He's like, it must be the car. I'm like, no, it's you. You're driving the car, right? So it's you. You're running your wheels into the curbs because you're not paying attention. You need to get your mirrors lined up to the point where you can see these lines, or sit up to a point where you can see these lines, and then you should never ever hit a curb because you can see exactly where the parameters of your car are at. So that should help you. So I've had no issues with scratches or anything on the wheels. The tires are a different story. I've had to replace 2 tires prematurely because I got flats. So that's not good. Again, this is something, it's always been my rear right, which is the most common to get a flat with, because you think about it, if you're taking a turn on the right side, like making a right at the light, there's a lot of things that gather on those sides of the road. When things fall off cars, that's just where they end up. So I think I've just been unlucky. I've got nails. Now my recommendation, when you get a flat tire, don't take it to Tesla. If you can go to a third-party shop like Discount Tire, they will patch it for free if they can. The problem with Tesla is it's not that quick. I didn't know, and I took mine and got it flatbedded to Tesla because it was really early in ownership. It was like 5,000 miles in, and then I had to get the tire replaced, so I just let Tesla handle it. The thing with Tesla is they're not looking to fix the issue. Like, they just want to replace it and move on. So they charged me, it was like $355 for a tire, whereas at Discount Tire, it was like $100 less to have the same thing done. And they always try to patch it. They've been honest with me in any car I've owned, so highly recommend Discount Tire. So the other thing with wear and tear, before I had the entire car PPF'd, I had the front PPF'd in their clear, which I really like. So I had some scratches here. You can see just a couple nicks. Some of that's just dirt, but like right there, just a few things. And the reason for that is because of rocks and various objects flying up from the front tires. So these are the splash guards, the mud guards from Tesla. I think they work nicely. They do scrape on just about everything. Also, my car is lowered 1/4 of an inch, so that doesn't help. But to avoid this, I recommend getting some mud guards, mud flaps. I'll have some linked in the description, but those are the ones from Tesla. I think they work nicely, look nice. Another random wear and tear item is this button right here. Normally it's just a little tap and it clicks. Mine, for some reason, goes all the way in. I don't know what I did to make it do that, and it's not something I've addressed with Tesla service because I feel like anytime you talk to Tesla service, you're just annoying them. Currently, I have this cover in here right now, kind of like a nice leather. It's not as plush and soft as it looks. It looks like it's really soft, but it feels almost plasticky. I use the 3D mats in my car, which is those are the mats that I have up front. I just think they are a really versatile product because they're so thin and they contour perfectly to the shape of the car. I highly recommend these, and I have a discount code down in the description. And then this mat, I'll be giving this away at some point, so just stay tuned for that. But the reason I use these mats is because it just protects this carpet perfectly. You can see it's just like it was the day I bought the car. And it's just something you just don't want to have to think about getting scratched up. Now again, if you don't care, then just scratch it up, do whatever you want. It's not, you know, I'm just telling you what I've done to keep the car protected as much as I can. So just how I am. But I don't care what you do, I'm just giving you options. Other than that, the car is in great shape. Like no major mechanical issues. It only has 34,000 miles. Now, some other insight, my neighbor has a Tesla Model S. His has 120,000 miles on it. He still has 90% of his battery's original capacity. I don't think he supercharges a lot. Supercharging your car a ton is not good for the long-term health of the battery. The reason for that is when you're moving the electrons at a high rate of speed that the superchargers do, it increases the heat, and then over time it just is harder on your battery. So ultimately, if you can every night just charge at home on a lower speed charger, that's better for the health of your battery. Now, maybe once a week at the supercharger, not a big deal, whatever. But if you're doing it night after night, that's really going to degrade your battery, and just something to be aware of. But I was really pleased to hear that. Two things that he noted in his Model S were the two motors in the rear windows both went out, and I guess that's a known problem with early Model S's. So other than that, his car has been fine, just tire replacements. He's getting over 30,000 miles out of each tire. So really nice to hear that, and I'm gonna be interested as we climb up in miles in my Model Y, what goes wrong, what needs replaced, but it's been a really solid and reliable vehicle. Now, Tesla's a cult, right? We're in the cult, baby. You know, we're in the log cabin, and we're sitting around the fire, and we're talking about Teslas, and we're all supercharging, and it's beautiful, right? But it's a cult for a reason, and that's because these are great cars. They perform extremely well, they're reliable, and you can rely on a charging network across the entire nation. I set out on a journey this past summer. You can watch those videos. It's pretty fun videos where I just get in my car, drive to Pennsylvania from Arizona. I had no plan. I just typed in the address I was going to in Western Pennsylvania. Boom. It set up all the superchargers I need to hit. There were no issues. I didn't have to worry, because you think like Electrify America, sometimes the chargers don't work. Sometimes they're not working at full capacity. The only thing you have to worry about with a Tesla supercharger is you have the possibility of waiting because there's too many people there, which on that journey I didn't come across it. It happened to me once in Indio, California. But you can rely on this supercharger network. That's what separates a Tesla right now. Like, it truly is. They've been making electric cars for the longest amount of time. I don't know how Nissan has sold 500,000 Leafs. They must have the best sales reps in the world. They're constantly improving their technology, and day after day, month after month, week after week, whatever, they're making changes to improve the car. So I have a ton of confidence in Tesla. I've had a Honda Civic Si, I've had a Ford Focus ST, I have my BMW M2. I've never even remotely thought about buying the stock. The second I bought my Tesla, I bought stock, and I have 10 shares of Tesla now, and it's done really well. The second you drive the car, you understand the value of the company. You're like, this makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying it should be your only car. I think having one electric car and one gas car is the way to go right now. I also think if you have multiple Teslas, that takes away from their idea of transitioning to sustainable energy, because you're taking a Tesla away from someone that could use it as their daily driver and reduce emissions if they're waiting for the car. Just my thought. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. I'm just thinking, like, there's people waiting for Teslas, and some people have 6 Teslas. But pretty soon we're going to be told we can't have cars, you rent your apartments, you'll own nothing, and you'll be happy, right? That's coming. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I've had a blast with this thing. I also have the Ioniq 5 coming. I'll have that as a press car. I'm going to make 6 trillion videos on that car because I love it. I think it's beautiful. I'm going to compare it to this, the Model 3, anything I can get my hands on. I have a Plaid video coming. I got lots coming.
Do not come.
I'm going to come.
So if you're not subscribed, you will have FOMO. all your friends will be talking, did you see the video? And you'll be sitting there